Welcome back, fellow investors and traders. Jeff here with another video. Right at the top here, guys, do me a favor, go down to the comment section. Let me know what you think about the new look here. I've put together some new content, and I'm using some different software now, trying to give the channel a different look, give the videos a different look. Let me know what you think. And this has been probably one of the most exciting times in recent history for stocks. Notably, what we're talking about is GameStop and AMC, okay? And this obviously is where Wall Street investors and hedge funds have been betting against these stocks for so long by use of short sales and put options. Wall Street bets on Reddit came together, started investing large sums of money into GameStop and AMC, and they have boasting parabolic moves to the upside. GameStop has basically 100x'd from about a year ago. Was trading around $2 and $3 at one time, now over $300. Seeing periods of time was over $400. So GameStop stock has 100x. This is the short squeeze of all short squeezes. Another thing I will point out is that 140% of the available float was being shorted by institutions. And we're starting to see a similar trend in AMC, okay? And it really just comes down to a couple things. First off, for years, Wall Street investors have been betting against GameStop, okay? This trend did not start 2 months ago, 6 months ago, or a year ago. You know, really, hedge funds have been shorting GameStop for 5 or 6 years now. I'm even guilty of it too. I've went short on GameStop. Of course, anybody that's involved in my course knows I do not hold short sales longer than maybe a day or two. Some of these hedge funds are holding long-term short sales. They're paying out a lot of marginal interest. But I myself personally have shorted a couple of these stocks that are getting boosted right now. And the pandemic only really made this problem worse, as Wall Street was so sure GameStop would fail that it was the most heavily shorted against stock on the entire market. Over the past few months, these Reddit users have been buying up shares, pushing up GameStop's value, and undermining Wall Street's big bets. And when it first took off, you know, there was a period of time where you'd see GameStop jump up to $10, $12, $13, $14, $15. I'm guessing a lot of big short sellers started hitting it again when it was at those levels, and then they really got burned, like I said, as GameStop stock went into the stratosphere, and investors have lost billions of dollars covering their position and getting out. Well, at least that is the message that they are trying to send. So there's a couple things I do want to talk about in this video. Is GameStop stock, should you still be buying it here? Is there more momentum? Is there more kind of gas left in the tank on this trade? In all common wisdom I have, the answer would be no. However, I still think there might be a little bit left on the end of this run. A couple other things I do want to talk about too is AMC. That is a failing movie theater company that the Redditors are looking to boost as well. And of course, the actions by the brokers, okay? Robinhood come out and made restrictions against buying so many of these stocks. And multiple brokers have come out restricting the amount of shares you can buy, or you couldn't buy the stock at all, or you could only put in sell orders. I want to try to clear up and explain a little bit what exactly is going on there. And I'm sure everybody has their own thoughts and opinions. We're probably not all going to unanimously agree on this. The thing I really do want to talk about there is that can't directly blame the brokerages. You have to think about the clearing firms. You know, the brokers don't really get to make that calls. The clearing firms get to make the call on what is getting traded in these brokers, what they can put restrictions on, and what they can't. So a lot of material to cover. It's a very exciting time in the stock market. We've taken some big positions lately in Trade Alerts Pro, so make sure you go to the first link in the description box and check out my course, Trade Alerts Pro. It's over on Teachable. We also have a Facebook group as well that's growing pretty good every day. Let's dive into this content, guys. Before we get started, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video. I appreciate all the support. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Alright, so I'm seeing a lot of videos on YouTube, seeing a lot of content out there, people covering GameStop stock. I see a lot of people that are just simply following the story, having some success there. But as an investor, as a trader, I want to try to help each and every one of you come to some kind of conclusion whether you should be buying GameStop here at these high levels, or would the wiser thing to do is to sit on the sidelines and simply observe this, okay? Now, me personally, like I said, all conventional wisdom, everything I've ever learned from being in the stock market has kind of been flipped on its head in the past 12 months. For example, like when Tesla made its massive move up to $300, $400, and $500, $600. At each step of the way, I started second guessing myself. Should I keep adding to my position in Tesla, or is this going to continue to run? Is it going to hold its levels? Sometimes I even wondered if I was at an appropriate time to go short. And as a matter of fact, I kind of felt the trend and went with it, okay? I did not fight the trend. I decided to keep investing more into Tesla on a fractional level, not sell any of my shares, and continue to ride it out. Now there's been a whole new situation with this GameStop thing, is that what we're dealing with here, guys, we're dealing with a company that's not very valuable, not getting it on earnings, but the stock is climbing to all-time levels. This is a technical short squeeze, okay? If you want a quick answer, if you want to know my true opinion, go to your portfolio and do some analysis first. Look at your portfolio. If you are too adverse to risk, if you have way too much high-risk stocks in your portfolio, I would probably let this one slide you by. However, if you do have very safe money, like I said, you have a lot of money in savings, you have a good amount of money in savings, you own some real estate, maybe you rent out a house, you have a lot of different income sources going on, and your portfolio is generally safe, I say go for it. Because in my personal opinion, I think GameStop is going to climb higher just simply based off the technicals, okay? Even while some of these hedge funds are covering on their position and getting out of this stock, the amount of shares that are still being shorted is extremely high, okay? The world seems to be obsessed with GameStop right now, and most people, I would say maybe half of all the people that are interested are just trying to simply understand what is going on. And I personally have not received more questions from family, friends, acquaintances in such a short period of time pertaining to this situation. So I'm learning as you're learning, okay? This is a revolutionary thing that I have not ever seen before, where there's been this coordinated move by Wall Street bets to boost the price in GameStop. And they've had massive amounts of success with it, while kind of turning the gun on the institutions. So there's also some cheerleading going on, and I will also mention this, the Reddit users are not going to budge. They keep encouraging people to continue holding your positions and buying more. One bump in the road we are going to see, though, we are going to see more and more regulation from the brokers. And when I say that, I mean the clearing firms. The clearing firms are going to start limiting the amount of shares you can buy. One common refrain signifies a democratization of the market from which there is no turning back. I can see why many might say or think that. And there's really nothing illegal being conducted here. Now, this isn't the first time a stock has been squeezed really hard that has been heavily short. Okay, this has happened many, many times before. It's just the first time that a particular social media website has kind of coordinated this and made this happen on such a large level. And like I said, it's a 100x return. If you would have been interested in buying GameStop, even when it was $5 a share, you'd be up well over 50x on your position. And when you start getting those kinds of returns, whether it's options or owning the stock, I'm going to highly, highly encourage you to deploy some cost protection methods. At least take your original investment back out, or let's say if you're up 10, 20, 30x on this position, sell half and let the other half run. Okay? I still think this move has enough momentum behind it right now. If you were to buy at these levels, you will probably get some return. Just make sure you're selling and being responsible with this position. I think if you try to go big, if you try to put big money into it, you could get seriously hurt if you're not quick to that sell button. So, this can reverse in a short period of time. And as restrictions starts to add onto these stocks, you will probably see some of these big moves being cut down a little bit. People won't be able to buy the shares in the quantity they want, and at some point this thing will run out of steam. But I do not think it is out of the realm of possibility that this could easily be $500 a share and possibly $1,000 and possibly beyond that, just simply based off the amount of shares being held short by institutions. So I think even here at $300, you have an opportunity to make some trades. Now let's switch gears for a minute over to ticker symbol AMC. That is the AMC Entertainment Holdings. And right now, they are currently resting at about a 78% short interest. And even as this stock continues to climb, I've seen the short interest climb over the past couple days and weeks. And obviously, the vast majority of that is again going to be from institutions and hedge funds trying to short this stock back down. So I think the better opportunity here is actually AMC. Now, again, GameStop being 120% short interest, and AMC being roughly 80% short interest. I think they will both continue to go as long as this keeps momentum behind it and people have the ability to buy it. But I think the greater opportunity for trades, and probably for multiple trades, would be in AMC. Because you are starting to see a shift on Reddit, on Wall Street Bets, to continue holding your position in GameStop, but start allocating funds to get into AMC here. You know, it jumped up as high as around $19 last week. Then when the brokers started coming out saying they were going to be regulating how many shares you could buy of these companies, that's when you started to see a sell-off, and then it boosted again. This is going to be a roller coaster ride. So I really, really want you to play it safe. I don't want you to get hurt. If you have $100,000 in an investing account and you drop $90,000 into one of these trades, I'm worried that something bad might happen, okay? You're your own person. But again, this is a revolutionary move. This is something we have not seen before. We're seeing coordinated moves going into basically junk stocks. AMC has a market cap of about $4.5 billion. And I know I'm seeing a lot of content over on Reddit. People want to push the market cap up to about $40 to $50 billion. So there could potentially be a 10x move here on AMC as well. Now again, I'm not guaranteeing that. A lot of things can happen and not happen, but I personally believe the bigger opportunity right now, from where the stocks sit and the stock prices sit, your bigger trading opportunity is going to be in AMC. Like I said, don't bet the farm on this. There's going to be a few people out there that do bet the farm and they hit it really big and they get rich overnight. But and another thing too I want to add here is, do not be selling out of your good stocks to move into these positions. I would not be selling your Apple and Microsoft and your Tesla and your NEO, Facebook and Google and Amazon, all these different types of companies. Do not be selling out of those stocks, because we already know they're going to maintain their levels and continue to grow over the years. This is kind of a short-term fad, and it could potentially turn into a long-term fad. But nobody really knows the answer to that right now, so just be safe. All right, now the last thing I want to touch on, guys, who is responsible for this friction for the retail investor to be buying into some of these highly shorted stocks? Should we blame the brokers, or should we be blaming the clearing firms, okay? Now, at first, I know probably a lot of you all experienced some of the same things I did. You might have been using a brokerage on Friday or Thursday, and all of a sudden an alert comes up and that you will no longer be able to buy stock in GameStop, AMC, and on and on. There's a lot of different stocks. I'm not going to cover them all in this video. I don't want to make this video overly long. And a lot of people immediately outraged against Robinhood and TD Ameritrade. Other brokers were limiting the amount of shares you can buy. Now look, we are going to see a lot of that over the next couple of weeks and months, and that is directly due to the clearing firms, okay? I hate to think that we're all trying to pick a side here. Are we going to be mad at the brokers, or are we going to be mad at clearing firms? Are we going to be mad at hedge funds? I guess we can all kind of be mad at whoever we decide we want to be. And for all I know, politicians could step in and start trying to regulate this as well. So the future is very, very unknown, and that's why I encourage you to be very, very safe here. But really what's going on is that these clearing firms have jacked up the amount of collateral they need to close these positions out. That way when you sell a stock, the money is cleared in your account. And they have raised that level of collateral from 1 or 2% up to 100%. So for every share of GameStop, they want 100% collateral. And these clearing firms do not have the level of liquidity to do that. That's why they're trying to restrict the amount of shares you can buy. And I'm not totally sold on that. I think there's still a lot of things they're not telling us. And who is influencing these clearing firms to do that? I do not yet have the answer to that, okay? It's going to take more time. More time's going to have to pass for me or anyone else to really understand totally what is going on here. And this is one of those things, like I said, from day to day, things are going to change. So you're probably going to see either more regulation stepping in or regulation coming off of a broker. You're probably going to see a lot of that kind of thing tomorrow. I know there's a large group of people that are very upset at Robinhood, and I think that problem goes beyond just what has happened over the past couple of days. Robinhood has had a lot of glitchiness and a lot of problems over the past couple of years, and especially I've seen a lot of people when they're trying to sell options, they're not able to, and you lose out on your position, or you end up losing money on a position that you had potentially a lot of gains on, you weren't able to, because the site does tend to be unavailable. Robinhood has a lot of problems. I know a lot of people are going to be pulling their money out of Robinhood, and I cannot blame or try to talk anybody out of that. I've had a lot of better success with Webull, M1 Finance, SoFi Invest, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, multiple of these different brokerages I've had very good luck with, and I've seen the glitchiness on Robinhood and have shifted away from trading options there. So totally understand here. I think the clearing firms are being influenced from a higher up source. Could definitely be hedge funds stepping in, and I think we're definitely open to see some political influence at some point too. But for now and for the time being, you're still probably going to see these stocks run for a while, and I plan on covering this story very closely. So go down in the comment section, let me know what you all think about this situation. I'm very interested in hearing that. Thank you as always for watching the video. Make sure to check out Trade Alerts Pro. It is the first link in my description box, and we will see each and every one of you very soon. Hope for a good week. Let's see what's going to happen in the market this week. Thanks for watching, guys.